Hostile supply convoy detected. Classified assignment location detected. Reinforcements en route.
You want to keep this down?
Incoming hostiles detected.
Get good. We gotta pull out now.
Assistance.
Where did they come from?
Hostiles. Serious trauma detected. Agent down. Hostile assembling a golden bullet. Heavily armored hostile detected. Detecting additional hostile contact. Golden bullet. Agent deceased. Hostile supply convoy nearby.
They're exposed!
This is our chance!
Agent down. Supply room access unlocked. Incoming hostiles detected. Supply room access unlocked. Hostile control point nearby. Received.
Don't see any more!
Lose anyone?
Golden bullet complete.
Sneaking up on me! Look out! Get out! Out again!
Hit that!
We got flat! I can fix this!
Heavily armored hostile detected.
I can take it.
Detecting additional hostile contacts. Heavily armored hostile detected. Supply room access unlocked. System malfunctioning.
Behind cover.
System reactivated. You have been promoted to group leader.
Make sure you still
You
project to mount a 90mm gun on the M18 did have the potential to solve this, but the war was over by the time it had completed testing. If you'd like to learn more about that vehicle, I have covered it in a previous video. The end of World War II would not mark the end of the M18 in combat, although it would not be used by the US forces in the war in Korea, with only the M39 utility vehicles being used. Several nations would end up taking M18s for themselves though, with the Yugoslavian, Bosnian, Serbian, Italian, Greek, Venezuelan, Iranian, and Taiwanese militaries all receiving some. M39s were also used by several other nations, with the West Germans, Japanese, and Netherlands receiving small numbers of them. Out of all of these, the only ones to actually see combat are those within the Balkan nations. These were used in a variety of strange ways, including as part of an armored train by Serbian forces and as part of the infamous M18 T-54 hybrid created by the Bosnians. Other odd modifications were made to keep these aging vehicles in service, such as the ones you see on screen. Another attempt to keep them in service was done by Taiwan, who mounted the M18 turret on the hull of a Duster anti-air vehicle. The last of the notable variants of the M18 is the modernization made by a company in Venezuela during the 90s. The engine was swapped to a diesel, with it also receiving night vision equipment and a thermal sleeve for the 76mm gun. This vehicle is commonly known as the M18A2, but it is unclear how many of these were actually built. The legacy of the M18 is a bit of a strange one in the world of armored vehicles. While it certainly is not a failure, I'm not sure if we can consider it an outright success. We cannot blame it for the shortcomings of the doctrine it was placed within, but the question still remains: was it really necessary? While at the time of its introduction, it did feature more firepower than the standard M4 Sherman, as more 76mm armed Shermans arrived, its firepower advantage was nullified and the mobility it had remained its sole advantage. The introduction of the M36 furthered this, as now there was a competing tank destroyer which packed a bigger punch. Perhaps the M18 armed with a 90mm could have proven to be an even more capable machine, but we will never know. In my opinion, I think the M18 was a vehicle somewhat ahead of its time, which caused it to be put into a somewhat awkward position. Just a few decades after World War II, we began to see vehicles with a similar premise to the M18, where firepower and mobility were prioritized over armor, with tanks such as the Leopard 1. While I would not go as far as to say the M18 was some sort of early main battle tank, I do have to wonder if it might have been viewed more favorably by all if it had come about in a post-war world. Either way, while you could make a somewhat compelling argument for this to have been an episode of Cursed by Design, I feel that would be a disservice to the vehicle and crews, which when combined proved it was a capable and deadly machine. Again though, those are just my thoughts, so please don't take them as factual statements. So what do you think about the M18? Let me know down in the comments below, and while you're down there, don't forget to try World of Tanks using that link and the code COMBAT to get your special starter bonus. Thanks again to them for supporting my content. It's only through support from all of you and my sponsors that I can make these videos for you full time.
Don't break shit.
I want to once again give a shout out to Nicholas Moran's book, Can Openers, which is an amazing resource for the development of these US tank destroyers. Of course, as always, a big thanks to all of you for watching and to my Conley fans who generously support my content. If you enjoyed this look into the M18 Hellcat, I highly recommend watching my previous videos on the Nashorn and Firefly, as those two vehicles show ways that other militaries tried to solve the tank destroyer question. Hope to see you there.
Take a look at this domestically produced Turkish delight, the new 5th generation MMU fighter jet. Its maiden flight on February 21st, 2024 felt like a bold statement from the Eurasian country, stating they didn't need any of your foreign technology. What we're observing right now is an increasing wave of domestically designed advanced fighter jets appearing around the world. This is because countries are pursuing a concept known as military self-sufficiency, where you're beholden to no foreign power for your defense. What is the Khan fighter jet's mission, and what does its weapon systems tell us about their greater military strategy? What geopolitical and diplomatic factors led to its development? First of all, let me explain what's at stake here for the Turkish Air Force and why they desire a 5th generation fighter so badly. You might not know it, but since 2015, the Turkish Air Force has been very busy. They've pulled off hundreds of airstrikes inside Syria and Iraq, many of them unilateral, and some of them in partnership with the United States-led coalition against ISIS. This map from airwars.org shows us a view of where the casualties are from these strikes along their border. These attacks have a dual mission. The first was to destroy ISIS, and the second was to target Kurdish forces. With this comes the risk of return fire though, because one of their 3rd generation F-4 Phantom jets was shot down by the Syrian Air Force. 3 years later, a Turkish F-16 shot down a Russian Su-24M right near their border that they claim had violated their airspace. In 2023 alone, the Turkish Air Force executed 128 airstrikes inside northern Syria. So considering how active their Air Force is in the field, it's clear why from a tactical combat point of view, it's important. We'll also dive into why it's important on a political and operational level later on. Because I think many times a nation's next generation aircraft program is about more than just the aircraft. They're about a symbol of national pride, autonomy, a diplomatic tool, and even a deterrent against war. But first, if you're concerned about your browsing security like me, or you just want to get rid of all those annoying ads, then you want to look into Proton VPN, a community-supported VPN service that's revolutionizing online security. Doesn't it seem like every website you go to is pushing an ad for something you were just browsing or maybe even just thinking? And it really makes you curious about the security of those sites and who's getting access to your data. Proton's ad-free and malware-free platform is trusted by over 100 million people worldwide and offers a robust suite of cybersecurity options. With Proton VPN, you can protect your browsing activity, access geo-block content without any bandwidth restrictions, all while ensuring complete privacy because Proton does not log or share your data with third parties. Right now, Proton is offering 1 month free with their 12-month plan and 3 months free with their 24-month plan. So if you want to get ahead of cyber criminals, just click the link in the description below and download Proton VPN today and ensure your browsing activity stays private. Turkey's emergence as a player in indigenous fighter jet development has garnered significant international attention. Headlines covering the Khan's maiden flight included words and expressions like impressive, history-shattering, a pivotal point, and a new Titan takes to the skies. I think that gives us a little bit of a hint as to how important the success of this project is to them. Turkish Aerospace Industries, TAI, designed the Khan to reach all the modern fighter performance benchmarks, which include a maximum speed of Mach 1.8 to 2.2, a service ceiling altitude height of 55,000 feet, a range of 700 miles on internal fuel, and a tolerance for maneuvers exerting up to 9 Gs. What makes a fighter a 5th generation versus a 4th? Well, it's got that low radar visibility, high agility, and the ability to conduct network-centric warfare. So far, only 3 countries in the world have successfully developed a 5th generation fighter with those capabilities, including Russia, China, and the United States. Among those, only China and the US have managed to manufacture the fighters in significant numbers. So if Turkey becomes the 4th nation to develop a 5th gen fighter, that's no small feat. The only reason Turkey has ever been able to even attempt the manufacturing of one of these on their own is thanks to decades of preparing and hedging bets for this exact eventuality. In 1985, arms embargoes were levied against them for their operations on the Mediterranean island of Cyprus. In response, the Turkish government decided to set up the Defense Industry Development and Support Administration to start investing heavily into setting up their own military-industrial complex. In 2002, when the Justice and Development Party came to power in Turkey, they set up the ambitious target of achieving domestic involvement in 75% of all defense procurement programs by 2023. Turkey has since become the world's 12th largest exporter of weapons, reaching $4.5 billion in 2022. Now today, Turkey has significantly decreased its reliance on foreign military imports from around 80% in 2004 down to 20% in 2022. They're investing in their own military-industrial complex to hedge against the possibility that an emergence like a pandemic or a world war could cut them off from supplies of weaponry. Safe to say, though, there's a lot riding on this program. To safely deliver ordnance in the modern world that's lousy with anti-air defense systems, you need a 5th generation aircraft. But in order to understand Turkey's new Khan fighter jet and its capabilities, we need to quickly address the Turkey F-35 incident, because this whole snafu has caused the Khan to need to take on a whole new host of responsibilities. It's a hotly debated topic even to this day. I'll try to give you both sides of the argument here. Okay, so once upon a time, Turkey was a major partner of the American 5th gen F-35 Joint Strike Development Program. They help finance its development and provide select maintenance functions for European operators. In fact, Turkish defense contractors like ISAZ, the Kale Group, and TAI helped build the F-35. Turkish maintainers had already started their training in Eglin Air Force Base in Florida. Turkey had originally planned to buy a total of 100 of the F-35As. They even accepted their first F-35 in a big ceremony in June 2018, where Turkish high officers swore to use them only to promote NATO's interests. But the good times cannot last forever. What goes up must come down. In 2019, less than a year later, NATO officers raised a series of concerns. Then, the United States Congress voted to kick Turkey out of the F-35 program. What was their line of reasoning for that decision? Well, that's been widely debated, but one of the factors was that Turkey had purchased the Russian S-400 air defense missile system, despite US objections. Why the pressing need for air defense on Turkey's end? The conflict in Syria sees rockets and shells land inside Turkish territory that has killed people regularly there. They also share a border with Iran, who's been known to be stocking up on advanced ballistic missiles, which Turkey would like to have a deterrent against. However, the United States justified the verdict of kicking Turkey out of the F-35 program by arguing that Moscow's air defense platform is inoperable with NATO systems and that it endangers NATO fighter jets by Turkey using them. What's the big deal there? This is because there is potentially one major tactical problem and issue that arises from this. There's a risk of unlicensed, unapproved transfer of US stealth technology information to Russia if they fly their Turkish F-35s near the S-400s from Russia. This is because those S-400 radars could profile the F-35's radar signature. The way it works is that when you buy a new weapon system from Russia or anyone, it comes with service personnel from that foreign country who will help you operate it and set it up. When you get a security system or a fridge installed in your home, someone comes and they help train you on how it works, right? Well, this is the same thing. What that means is Russian maintenance personnel on the S-400 could send recorded stealth data back to Russia, hypothetically. Why did Turkey buy the S-400 from Russia instead of the Patriot missile system from the United States? This too is complicated, but essentially Turkey tried to buy the Patriot system several times, but the US either refused to sell them or wanted to send an outdated version. There's also a series of negotiations where the United States claims that Turkey was requiring a transfer of proprietary information on how to manufacture the air defense missiles in their country, which was a no-go for the US. There are other potential reasons floated. Possibly the US government didn't like the idea of Turkey using the F-35 against Kurdish forces that they're kind of allied with. Turkey strongly disagrees with the US position. They say that there's no conflict between the two systems, that they've fulfilled their obligations, and that their suspension is unwarranted. But long before the drama, back in 2010, the Turkey Defense Industry Executive Committee made the call to develop an advanced aircraft domestically. This aircraft was in the works before any of those issues. They saw it as a necessary step to replace the 270 American-made F-16s in their inventory, and it would eventually complement the F-35s that they planned on eventually getting. According to John Lake's great article that he wrote for Times Aerospace, quote, "The new MMU was intended to be the cheaper, less capable element in the high-low mix," meaning that it was supposed to be better than the F-16, but not quite an F-35 originally. An initial funding of $20 million was designated in the initial design phase. From there, they unveiled 3 potential concepts. The first, dubbed the FX-1, featured twin engines and shared a lot of similarities with the American F-22 Raptor. The F-22 should be asking for a paternity test. Everything went to hell when the disagreement happened between the US and Turkey over the F-35. And so the